what up, guys? What up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Convos in the Cave. I am your host, Mel, speaking. Remember, click that like, comment, subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so we get the videos early. Yeah, man, we back. We here. Feel a little better, man. Sorry for the wait, man. You know, your boy been down. Your boy been down and out for about a week. But I'm back now. And I'm back. Today's conversation, guys. Today's conversation, we going to the sports world. We're going to talk ESPN, Ryan Clark, RG3. If you guys are not familiar with those people, those brothers, they've been heavy in the algorithm on YouTube. And I just wanted to chop it up real quick because this is something that I spoke about, you know, in terms of ESPN, preferably Stephen A. Smith, you know, taking the sports analytics out of context when it comes to dealing with players in their personal lives, right? But this don't really have anything to do with Stephen A. Smith per se. This is about Ryan Clark and RG3. And apparently they don't like each other. And they worked with each other back in the day on ESPN. So before we get into the topic, just to give you some context, I think RG3 made a comment in regards to Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark because they just played each other the other day. And Caitlyn Clark fouled her really hard. It wasn't like a flagrant, but it was a hard foul, and Angel Reese got up and attempted to attack her, you know, in regards to the foul. And RG3 has some choice words for her. But before we get into it, I want to roll the clip. Matter of fact, let me let you know real quick. RG3 has some choice words for Angel Reese and the Caitlyn Clark situation. We all know the history between Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark. But Ryan Clark went on to defend Angel Reese because whatever RG3 had to say was in combat of how she reacted to a Caitlyn Clark. So Ryan has some choice words for RG3, and he kind of, you know, let me roll the clip, and then we're going to be back with some commentary. So here we go.
I think Angel Reese hates Caitlyn Clark. It could be the fact that Aaliyah Boston had to save Angel Reese from ending her career. This is a still shot. After the foul that Caitlyn Clark put on Angel Reese tried to hit her. But if it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston putting her arms in the way, Angel Reese would not be playing basketball anymore because she was going to sucker punch Caitlyn Clark. Now, you tell me a time when you've seen somebody get fouled on a basketball court in a professional league where they tried to almost sucker punch somebody that they were friends with because of a hard foul. So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlyn Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that play?
That was RG3 in response to the way Angel Reese reacted to Caitlyn Clark. And as you can see in the video, in the background, RG3 had his wife. In the background, RG3 had his wife, you know, kind of ad-libbing for him in the background. And, you know, Ryan Clark felt some type of way about it. But it was, RG3 was basically saying, you know, that the reason Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark doesn't like each other, and it's not a coincidence that Angel Reese, after the foul, got up and tried to swing or try to retaliate to Caitlyn Clark, but when she previously had gotten into a debacle with another black player, she didn't respond that way. So he's just highlighting the fact that she doesn't just like she didn't want to hit Caitlyn Clark. I mean, she wanted to hit Caitlyn Clark because she was, I guess, white. I guess that's what he was insinuating. He didn't say those words, but you can tell what he meant by involving another player in the same situation and how, in referencing how Angel Reese reacted to that situation opposed to this situation. So Ryan Clark went on and responded in defense of Angel Reese, and let me roll that clip.
RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlyn Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlyn Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. If you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal.
All right. So now Ryan Clark responded, and, you know, I stand by his response, but I disagree with the fact that he spoke about his wife. You know, there's some validity to what RG3 was responding to after the fact that he heard what RG3 said about his family. And that was corny for Ryan Clark to even mention his wife, no matter what she was doing. Of course, she's going to support her husband in everything that he do. You know what I mean? But for you to try to basically say that RG3 is Black girl shaming because he's on the side of Caitlyn Clark, it was kind of corny to involve his wife because he's basically saying that RG3 doesn't really have any legs to stand on because he doesn't know how it is to deal with a Black woman because he has a white wife. And that was wrong to say because I think it doesn't matter the color. A wife is a wife. They all pretty much have similarities, you know. But he could have responded to RG3 and articulate himself in a different way. You know what I'm saying, to prove his point. So yeah, so I think Ryan Clark was wrong for that, and he owed RG3 an apology. You know, I must say. Now I'm gonna read to you what response did RG3 reply to after that. Let me just bring it up here real quick. So after Ryan Clark, after RG3 retaliated, let me play the clip that RG3 said to Ryan Clark after this. Let's roll that clip.
You crossed the line, man. You made it personal and some. I really believe there should be no space in sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before. But certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Ryan, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes, but keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. Always. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for ESPN. It's cowardly. It's spineless.
All right, so now we're here. So now, now you see that RG3 is frustrated, as any man would. One thing that you can't talk about in this sports world is someone's family. Like, you can critique the sport, you can critique the way they analyze the game, but once you involve any family member, son, mother, father, daughter, you cross the line. And that's just the bottom line. And Ryan Clark knows this, So, like I said, I think Ryan Clark owed RG3 apology in that regard. But as far as his take on the Caitlyn Clark versus Angel Reese, I think it's some validity there. So I don't think he deserves an apology on that regard. But here's what Ryan Clark responded to. He tweeted RG3. He said, bruh, you know what it is with me and you. I saved you the entire season on Monday Night Football. I urge people to let you be you. No matter how corny, how bad of a teammate you were, I had your back. What did you do? Question mark. Invite someone on your show you know I don't fool with to ask questions about me, and then hit me weeks later to tell me you're going to challenge one of my takes. You're a phony, bro. One of the worst teammates I ever had, both on and off the field and TV. You got to do what you got to do. Period. End quote. Then he, quote, I didn't attack your wife. I spoke on what you do on social media and TV. Like I said, I met your wife and she seemed like a lovely lady that was worth more than just the color of her skin. But you be good, bro. End quote. So now, based on that message, you can see is a backstory to RG3 versus Ryan Clark. And apparently, RG3 had responded on a take, and he asked someone that Ryan Clark wasn't fond with, and that's what triggered it. So any given time that Ryan Clark had to shoot a shot at RG3, this was the time. And I think he used it, but just threw a little extra sauce on it when he involved his wife, and I think that was wrong. But, overall, I feel like these gentlemen need to kind of, resolve their issues the same way that they started the beef publicly, and I think they can get past it. But for the most part, I think Ryan Clark was wrong for involving family. I think he should have stick to the topic. But that just goes to show what I've always talked about. When it comes to these analysts, you guys gotta stick to the sport. Don't mention nobody's family. Don't mention nobody's personal lives, because it's not gonna go well. It's never gonna go well. You know what I mean? And I feel like at some point, as a grown man, when you know right from wrong, so when you choose to do it, it only leaves that open door to, perpetuate that you're doing it just for clicks. You know what I mean? And it's not manly to me. It is not, it's just not something that honorable man would do. You know what I mean? So to Ryan Clark, RG3, you guys got to get it together, man. And I'm in that video right there, guys. If you like the comment, if you like it, hit me in the comments. And remember to continue to like, comment, subscribe. Talk to me, I'll talk back. Share the video, hit the notification bells, and hit me up in the comments. I'll talk back, man. Yo, if you like this video, just let me know. Comment who you think was wrong in this beef. Was it RG3? Was it Ryan Clark? And I'll do a extra video, a bonus video, because I think Stephen A has some words for Ryan Clark and RG3. I think he's kind of like the mediator at this point. But I'm gonna do some research and see what he responds to. And I'm gonna do another video and hit y'all up, y'all. So yeah, just continue to support the channel, man. On the road to 2,000 subscribers, and that's the only way we're gonna grow, man. We out, man. Convos in the Cave, B.